Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. Galactic Empire in shock. Humans weren't supposed to have tech like this. Admiral Thorne stood on the bridge of the Imperial Dominance, the flagship of the Galactic Empire's Third Fleet. His four eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic display showing the unusual energy readings coming from the small blue planet. The Empire had ruled over thousands of alien species for more than 10,000 years, and in all that time, they had never seen energy patterns like these. "Tell me again, how long have these humans had faster-than-light travel?" Thorne asked, his scaled skin reflecting the blue light of the display. Commander Plex, the fleet's intelligence officer, checked his data pad. "Less than 50 years, Admiral. They were confined to their solar system until then." Thorne's secondary arms twitched in disbelief. "Impossible. No species develops this quickly." The Imperial Dominance and its escort of 5 battle cruisers had been sent to investigate this backwater system after automated sensor buoys detected unusual energy signatures. The Empire had known about humans for centuries but had classified them as a pre-spaceflight civilization, not worth the effort of formal contact or conquest. That assessment was clearly wrong. "We're receiving a transmission from the approaching vessel," announced the communications officer. On screen, ordered Thorne, the main display changed to show a human male with short gray hair and a weathered face. He wore a simple dark blue uniform with small silver markings on the collar. "This is Captain Thomas James of the Earth ship Defiance. We welcome the Galactic Empire to Earth space and request your peaceful intentions be confirmed." Thorne noted that the polite words were undermined by the fact that this single human vessel had approached his fleet without hesitation. Either these humans are foolish or very confident. "I am Admiral Thorne of the Imperial Third Fleet. We are here on a routine survey mission." The lie came easily. "Your world has shown interesting technological development. We wish to establish formal contact." Captain James smiled slightly. "We're happy to escort you to our orbital diplomatic station. However, I must ask that only 2 of your vessels proceed. Our defense protocols limit the number of foreign military ships permitted near Earth." The sheer audacity made Thorne's inner eyelids blink rapidly in surprise. This human was dictating terms to an Imperial admiral. Before he could respond with the appropriate threat, his science officer interrupted. "Admiral, you need to see these scans of the human vessel," she whispered urgently. Thorne glanced down at the offered datapad and felt a cold sensation spread through his body. The scan showed energy readings that exceeded the capabilities of his own flagship. "Impossible." "Very well," Captain James said. Thorne replied, masking his concern, "The Imperial Dominance and 1 escort will follow you. The remainder of my fleet will hold position here." The human nodded. "Thank you, Admiral. Please maintain your current speed and follow our navigation beacon." As the transmission ended, Thorne turned to his officers. "Full analysis of that ship. I want to know everything about their weapons, shields, and propulsion systems." Commander Plex approached. "Sir, preliminary scans indicate their shield technology is like nothing in our database, and their power generation," he hesitated. "It exceeds our flagship by approximately 300%. "That cannot be correct," Thorne hissed. "No newly spacefaring race developed such technology so quickly. They must have stolen it or found ancient technology." "There's no evidence of that, sir. The design architecture appears uniquely human." As they followed the Defiance toward Earth, Thorne studied the human vessel. It was smaller than his flagship but had an elegant, streamlined design that suggested both speed and power. There was no excessive ornamentation or intimidating features like Imperial ships often displayed. Its simplicity was almost mocking. In the command center beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean, General Diana West watched the holographic display showing the approaching alien fleet. Only the Defiance and a squadron of escort ships were visible to the aliens, while Earth's true defense fleet remained hidden. "Weapons locked on the Imperial vessels," Captain James reported. "Wait, her aide reported, "They're following with just 2 ships." Diana nodded. "And their scans, their technology can detect the Defiance's capabilities but not our stealth fleet." They seem concerned. "Good," Diana said. 50 years ago, we intercepted their probe and learned about the Empire. We've been preparing ever since. When humans discovered the small Imperial drone cataloging their system, they'd kept it intact enough to extract its data. What they found had changed human history forever, knowledge of a vast ancient empire that considered all other species merely resources to exploit or subjects to rule. Humanity had united and advanced with a single purpose, to be ready when the empire eventually came. Every scientific breakthrough, every technological innovation, was directed toward survival. Captain James watched the massive Imperial ships following his vessel. The Defiance was humanity's newest warship but far from their most powerful. It had been specifically designed to impress and intimidate without revealing the full extent of human military technology. "They're scanning us continuously," Captain James reported to his tactical officer. "Should we raise our countermeasures?" "No," James replied, "let them see exactly what we want them to see." The Defiance led the Imperial ships to the massive orbital station that served as Earth's diplomatic hub. The station's size and obvious technological sophistication clearly surprised the Imperial officers when they came aboard. In the main conference room, Admiral Thorne and his delegation sat across from Captain James and Earth's diplomatic team. The room featured a large viewport showing Earth below, a deliberate reminder of what humanity was protecting. "Your ship has interesting capabilities," Thorne began. "The Empire maintains technological standards for all spacefaring species. It appears humans may have developed beyond permitted levels." James raised an eyebrow. "Permitted by whom?" "The Galactic Empire has ruled for 10,000 years, Thorne said coldly. "We ensure stability by regulating dangerous technologies. Your shields and power systems exceed Category 3 limitations, which is unusual for a species that has only recently achieved faster-than-light travel." James smiled. "We're quick learners, Admiral." "Perhaps too quick." Thorne replied, "Imperial protocol requires technological verification of all member species. Your ships and facilities must be inspected to ensure compliance. Earth is not a member of your empire," James pointed out. Thorne's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, the Imperial equivalent of a condescending smile. "There are no truly independent worlds, Captain. Only those within the Empire and those who have not yet joined. For your people's safety, compliance is recommended." As the thinly veiled threat hung in the air, James received a subtle notification on his communication device. Earth's hidden defense fleet had detected additional Imperial ships entering the system. "Well, take your request under advisement," James said carefully. "Earth's United Defense Command will need to discuss this matter." The meeting ended with false pleasantries, and as the Imperial delegation returned to their ships, James contacted General West. "They're assessing whether to bring us into the fold or eliminate a potential threat," he reported. "And their decision?" asked Diana. James watched the Imperial ships through the viewport. "I believe they're already gathering their forces. They won't risk leaving humans independent, not with the technology they think we have." "Then it's begun," Diana said quietly. "And they don't even realize they've only seen a fraction of what we can do." James nodded grimly. "The real question now is, do we show them everything and risk full-scale war, or keep our true capabilities hidden and hope for peaceful integration?" As the Imperial ships moved away from the station, Earth's leadership prepared for the decision that would determine humanity's future among the stars. General Diana West stood before the United Defense Command, 17 men and women representing Earth's combined military forces. The atmosphere in the underground chamber was tense. "The Imperial spy has been allowed limited access to the Defiance, as planned," she reported. "Captain James is feeding him carefully selected information." Admiral Lee, commander of Earth's Pacific Fleet, leaned forward. "And are they taking the bait completely?" Diana confirmed, "Our monitoring of their communications indicates they're calling for reinforcements. A battle group is being dispatched to assess us." "Then we must decide now," said President Gallo, his voice grave. "Do we reveal our full military capability and risk immediate conflict, or continue the deception?" Diana activated the central holographic display showing the position of Earth's hidden fleets. "Our stealth technology remains undetected. We have the advantage of surprise. However, a full revelation might trigger a larger Imperial response than we can handle." "What about our phase shift technology?" asked Admiral Lee. "Do they suspect we have it?" "No," Diana replied. "Their spy has seen nothing beyond conventional FTL drives, albeit more advanced than they expected. They have no idea we can shift entire fleets between dimensions." President Gallo stood. His decision made, "We show them enough to make them cautious, but not enough to make them desperate. Deploy Defense Plan Delta, second-tier vessels only." Marcus returned to the Imperial flagship, his mind racing with what he had seen. Admiral Thorne listened to his report with growing concern. "You're certain this was an older model power system?" Thorne demanded. "The human captain had no reason to lie about that," Marcus replied. "Their technological advancement is genuine and self-developed. And, sir, I believe they were showing me exactly what they wanted me to see." Thorne paced the command deck. "They're playing games with us." "There's something else," Marcus added. "While accessing their computer systems, I found references to their home planet. Earth is classified as a death world by galactic standards: higher gravity, higher radiation, more extreme weather, and more aggressive life forms than most inhabited planets." "What are you suggesting?" Thorne asked. "That humans evolved in conditions that would kill most species in the Empire. Their entire history has been one of adaptation to harsh conditions and competition. It explains their rapid technological development." Thorne stopped pacing. "The 7th Battle Group will arrive in 2 standard days. Then we'll see just how advanced these humans really are." On the Defiance, Captain James reported to General West via secure channel. "The spy left with exactly the information we wanted him to have." He confirmed that our sources within their fleet indicate they're preparing for a major exercise to test our capabilities. Diana nodded. "The Imperial Battle Group will arrive soon. President Gallo has authorized the deployment of our Aegis-class vessels." "Not the Phantom Fleet?" James asked, surprised. "Not yet. We need to see how they respond to a moderate show of force first." James looked troubled. "These Imperials have conquered thousands of worlds, General. They won't stop at a show of force." "Exactly," Diana replied. "Which is why we need to carefully manage how much of our hand we show. Too little, and they'll think us easy prey; too much, and they might bring their full might against us. And if they attack regardless?" Diana's expression hardened. "Then they'll learn why it was a mistake to threaten a species that evolved on a world that tries to kill them every day." James nodded. As he ended the transmission, he gazed out at the stars, where somewhere an Imperial battle group was heading toward Earth. The coming days would determine whether humanity would find a place in the galactic community through peace or war. But one thing was certain: the Empire had gravely underestimated what humans were capable of. They were about to learn their mistake. The Imperial 7th Battle Group emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, 27 warships, from massive dreadnoughts to nimble destroyers, arranged in perfect formation. It was a fleet that had crushed planetary defenses across hundreds of worlds. On the command deck of the lead dreadnought, Imperial Verdict, Admiral Thorne stood beside Fleet Commander Dax, the battle group's leader. "These humans have only a handful of ships that we've detected," Dax said confidently. "This display of force should bring them to their senses quickly." Thorne wasn't so sure. "Don't underestimate them, Commander. There's something unusual about these humans." "All species bow before sufficient Imperial might," Dax replied. "Now let's see what these humans are truly capable of." The emergency alarm sounded throughout Earth's defense headquarters. General Diana West rushed into the command center, where tactical displays showed the newly arrived Imperial fleet, 27 vessels, her aide reported, including 3 dreadnoughts. President Gallo entered the room, his face grim. "They're not wasting any time. We're receiving a transmission from the Imperial fleet," announced the communications officer. The main screen activated, showing Fleet Commander Dax, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence as he spoke. "People of Earth, the Galactic Empire welcomes you to the greater community of civilized species. To assess your readiness for formal membership, we request a joint military exercise with your defense forces." Diana and the President exchanged glances. This transparent trap was exactly what they had anticipated. "Deploy the Aegis fleet," ordered the President. "Captain James will command." The Defiance led a formation of 15 human vessels toward the waiting Imperial fleet. These were Earth's Aegis-class ships, powerful by most standards, but deliberately designed to appear less advanced than they actually were. Captain James addressed the commanders of the human fleet. "Remember, we show them our defensive capabilities, not our offensive ones. Make them respect us, not fear us." The human ships formed a wedge formation as they approached the much larger Imperial fleet. The size difference was dramatic. The smallest Imperial destroyer was larger than the Defiance, and the Imperial dreadnoughts were the size of small cities. Fleet Commander Dax's voice came through the communications channel. "Captain James, your ships will engage in a simulated combat exercise with our vessels. This will help us understand your tactical capabilities and technological level." "We're ready," Captain James replied calmly. "Although, I notice your fleet seems positioned for actual combat rather than an exercise." Dax's expression didn't change. "A precaution only. The exercise begins in 1 standard hour." As the transmission ended, James turned to his tactical officer. "They'll attack as soon as we're in range of their main weapons. Be ready." Admiral Thorne watched from the bridge of his flagship as the human vessels approached. Something wasn't right. The humans are bringing too few ships, and they are advancing too confidently. "Commander Dax," he said quietly, "I recommend caution. These humans may have hidden capabilities." Dax dismissed the concern with a gesture of his secondary arm. "Our scans show their technology is impressive, but not beyond our comprehension. Their ships have strong shields but limited weapons. They clearly prioritize defense over offense, the mark of a species that fears conflict, or the mark of a species confident enough that they don't need to show their teeth." Thorne replied. The Imperial fleet suddenly broke formation, its ships spreading out to surround the human vessels. Their weapon systems activated, energy signatures spiking across the Imperial line. "They're powering weapons," reported the Defiance's tactical officer. "No warning," James nodded calmly. "As expected, defensive protocols only, no offensive action without my direct order." The space between the fleets lit up as Imperial energy weapons fired simultaneously, a barrage that would have destroyed most planetary defense fleets instantly. But the human ships didn't explode. Their shields glowed bright blue as they absorbed the massive energy attack, bending and rippling but holding firm. On the Imperial flagship, Dax stared in disbelief. "Impossible. No shields could withstand that barrage." "Fire again," he ordered. "All weapons, maximum power." The second Imperial attack was even more powerful than the first. Energy beams, plasma torpedoes, and graviton pulses, the complete arsenal of Imperial weaponry converged on the human fleet. Again, the human shields held. Some ships showed fluctuations in their shield patterns, but none fell. Inside the Defiance, the bridge remained calm despite the massive attack. Crew members monitored their stations as if this were a routine drill. "Shield efficiency at 87% and holding," reported the engineering officer. "We could do this all day," Captain James nodded. "Let's give them something to think about. Activate defensive countermeasures, protocols 3 and 4 only." The human ship's shields changed color, shifting from blue to a deep purple. Then, as the next wave of Imperial weapons fire struck, something remarkable happened. The energy didn't just stop at the shields, it bounced back, returning to its sources. Several Imperial destroyers rocked violently as their own weapons' fire reflected back at them, not enough to destroy them, but enough to damage their forward weapons arrays. "What is happening?" Dax demanded, watching as the fleet attack turned against them. Admiral Thorne's inner eyelids blinked rapidly. "They're reflecting our energy weapons back at us. I've never seen shield technology capable of that." Captain James watched as the Imperial fleet regrouped. "Now we show them what happens when they attack Earth. All ships, prepare for limited counterattack, disabling strikes only." The human vessels moved with surprising speed, their engines glowing with a soft white light as they accelerated to velocities the Imperial ships couldn't match. They darted between the larger Imperial vessels, targeting weapon systems and engines with precise energy pulses. Within minutes, half the Imperial fleet was drifting, their main systems disabled but their life support intact. No ships were destroyed, but many were effectively removed from the battle. From his flagship, Admiral Thorne watched with a mixture of horror and fascination. These humans have neutralized half of an Imperial battle group without destroying a single vessel. It was a display of precision and restraint that I have never witnessed in centuries of service. "We must withdraw and regroup," he urged Commander Dax. "These are clearly not their best ships yet, they've disabled half our fleet without taking damage." Dax's pride was wounded, but he wasn't foolish. "Order all functioning vessels to fall back to defensive positions." As the remaining Imperial ships retreated to a safer distance, the Defiance moved to the front of the human formation. A transmission came through from Captain James. "Imperial Fleet, this is Captain James. Your exercise is concluded. We came prepared for peace or war. Your choice, which happens next?" Admiral Thorne stepped forward. "This is Admiral Thorne. We acknowledge the conclusion of the exercise. Your technological capabilities are impressive, more than impressive." James replied, "What you witnessed today was a small fraction of Earth's defense capability. We deployed our second-tier vessels only. Our response was measured and proportionate to your unprovoked attack." Thorne glanced at Commander Dax, who stood in stunned silence. "We request a formal diplomatic meeting," Thorne said carefully, "to discuss Earth's relationship with the Empire." James nodded. "We accept, but understand this, Admiral, Earth will never be subjugated. We are prepared to join the galactic community as equals, not subjects." As the transmission ended, Thorne turned to Dax. "We must report this to the Emperor immediately. These humans, they're unlike any species we've encountered." Dax could only nod, his gaze fixed on the human vessels that had so easily defeated his battle group. "What are they?" he whispered. "The future of the galaxy," Thorne replied quietly. "Whether the Empire accepts it or not, news of the battle spread through the Empire like wildfire on the Imperial capital world, Nexus Prime. The Emperor himself called an emergency session of the High Council." The massive chamber, designed to intimidate with its soaring ceilings and imposing architecture, was filled with nervous whispers. "Silence," commanded the Emperor. His voice echoed through the hall. Unlike most species in the Empire, he had only 2 eyes, but they glowed with an unnatural purple light, the result of advanced life extension technologies. The room fell quiet as a hologram appeared in the center, showing the disabled Imperial ships drifting in space after their encounter with the human fleet. "For the first time in 5,000 years, the Emperor said slowly, an Imperial battle group has been defeated in direct combat." One of the counselors, a being with translucent skin showing its glowing internal organs, spoke up, "Surely, defeated, is too strong a word, Your Eminence. Our reports indicate no Imperial ships were destroyed." "That makes it worse," replied the Emperor. "These humans could have destroyed our fleet but chose not to. Their restraint shows confidence, not mercy." Admiral Thorne's hologram appeared beside the battle footage. He had been summoned to report directly to the council. "Admiral," the Emperor addressed him, "explain how a species that has had faster-than-light capability for merely 50 years has developed technology that surpasses our own." Thorne's 4 eyes blinked nervously. "Our scientists are still analyzing the data, Your Eminence, but we have developed a theory. It relates to the humans' home world." He activated a display showing Earth. "This planet has several unique characteristics. Its gravity is 1.3 times higher than the galactic average for inhabited worlds. Its radiation levels from its star are unusually high, and its ecosystem contains more predatory species than 87% of known inhabited planets." "What are you suggesting?" asked the counselor. "Simply put, humans evolved in conditions that would kill most species in the Empire," Thorne explained. "Their entire history has been one of adaptation to harsh conditions. They developed technology not for comfort or expansion, but for survival. In the Imperial Science Academy, the top minds of the Empire worked frantically to understand human technology. Marcus, now chief of the Human Research Division, supervised dozens of scientists analyzing the battle data. The energy readings from their shields make no sense," complained one researcher. "They seem to be using some form of quantum field manipulation that violates our understanding of physics. And their propulsion systems," added another, "are achieving velocities that should tear their ships apart, yet their structural integrity remains perfect." Marcus studied the holographic models of human ships floating above the central table. "We're missing something fundamental about their approach to technology. Their ships aren't just more advanced, they're different in concept." A junior researcher approached nervously. "Sir, I've been studying historical records of human communications we've intercepted over the decades. I found something interesting." He displayed a series of old human transmissions. "Humans have a rich